So, season 2 of Doctor Who is done, and fuck, Newsy has already regenerated. So it looks like the rumors of him leaving the show are true. I, it's like the revivals of Doctor Who are just cursed because Christopher Eccleston, he had, you know, like we don't know if Newsy was actually unhappy with the writing because those were just rumors at the end of the day. But at the same time, if he's leaving after 2 seasons when most doctors get three, it feels like, yeah, he's probably unhappy. And that's what happened with Christopher Eccleston. He left. He was the very first doctor of the Doctor Who revival. And now this is technically like a revival because this is considered season 2. And the first season with him was considered season 1. And he's already gone. But let's talk about the show itself. First episode, we get Belinda. She's a pretty cool character. I like that she tells off the Doctor, and she's a pretty cool character. Just really enjoy her. Now, however, did not like her introduction episode. I thought it was stupid. It's Doctor Who has dealt with sexism before, and they've done it in great ways and terrible ways. They've done racism before. They've done it in great ways and terrible ways. Like Peter Capito's Doctor, for example, he punched a racist in the face. But then with the 10th Doctor, they pretended that racism doesn't exist in that certain country because it was basically the future. And that they were basically just trying to say that that specific town was progressive for its time, which was just a lazy way to pretend that racism didn't exist in the 18th century. Martha had every right to think that she was going to be carted off as a slave, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what she said. And I thought it was just kind of dumb. We get introduced to this guy in the beginning of the episode. He's a bit off. He buys her a star or something. And then it's revealed later that he's a sexist, controlling boyfriend that doesn't want her to go out and doesn't like when she wears certain clothes or blah, blah, blah. It's just, it's just a stupid episode, in my opinion. Because, like I've said before, they've dealt with sexism and shit better than they did in this one. It just, I didn't like it. Like, yeah, let's just move on, because I don't like this episode. The second episode, however, I fucking loved it. Um, we get introduced to this character, Lux, who's this cartoon god thing, and his animation is just really cool. His animation ends up changing near the end of the episode very briefly, and he looks fucking creepy as hell. He was a lot of fun. I definitely liked him. Uh, they don't deal with racism once again the greatest in this episode. They just kind of brush it off. Like the Doctor's like, we have more important things to worry about right now. And she rightfully calls him out on that, but that is also just kind of brushed aside. And then we have like 3 or 4 characters that luckily aren't racist. And then they end up taking off before anybody can say something racist to them. It's just, don't pick a time period where racism exists, acknowledge that racism exists, and then just write it off. It's just lazy. But the episode itself is still a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Probably one of the best episodes of Newsy's entire series so far, like including the Christmas specials that I really enjoyed. Oh, and speaking of that, I just realized he's not going to get another Christmas special, which is very disappointing. I guess the Christmas special will probably be the new Doctor, which I will get to the new Doctor later since, they're introduced in the finale, so I don't want to spoil that just yet. I really enjoyed The Well, but like other people, I did think it was a little disappointing that we see the creature, and it was like a one-off episode from like 15 years ago. in that episode, the whole point of it was that the doctor was genuinely fucking terrified of this thing, and he couldn't figure out what it was. And by the end of the episode, he still didn't know what it was. And I mean, sure, he doesn't fully know what it is here, but he still learned more about it. We learned more about this creature. I mean, it's still a decent episode, though. The fourth episode, we get another sexist boyfriend episode, though this one isn't as sexist, but I would say he's definitely sexist. We get introduced to this douchebag Conrad, who uses Ruby because he wants to promote conspiracy theories and shit. The episode itself is rather enjoyable, but I don't like the way they did it. I don't know, man. Very satisfying to see the actor get bit, though, in the episode. Right when he, tries to fall back into his old cool and confident act, his little macho thing, just to immediately get emasculated. I did like that. That was hilarious. And then the doctor giving an amazing speech to him, telling him off. Really fucking good episode. It just... And the fact that they basically just do the same story twice in one season. Like, oh, this girl has a boyfriend. He betrays her. And then, fucking Ruby has the same thing. Ruby and Belinda both have a boyfriend that betrayed them. Which, unfortunately, that is very common with women. But I just don't like how they wrote it. I think the episodes are still good. I just don't like how they wrote the sexless boyfriend character. I think you could have wrote them better. They're basically just nothing at the end of the day, at least in my opinion. Conrad does come back, though. The other character does not, because he gets stepped on. So he's fucking dead. Episode 5 is probably my favorite episode. I'm just gonna put that out there. We get the doctor, and since he's black, he wants to fit in to a black community. So he goes to this barber shop, and he is with this barber and some other people. It's mainly the barber, and he becomes friends with him, and he becomes like a safe space for him. And every now and then the doctor will get his haircut there. And, it's really cool. But here we go with the betrayal thing again. I don't think it was done too terribly here, because it does make sense logically why he did it. With the other ones, it just... These guys are sexist and they're gonna betray the companions. And I felt like that's all they were. They were nothing characters. But he has to betray the doctor because he needs help. He wants to return these people to their families, not just himself. It's not a selfish reason. He wants to help the other people. And, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And the doctor did have every right to blow up on him. I do think he forgives him rather quickly, but it's whatever. I really enjoyed this episode. The villain was pretty cool too, the Weaver. Sucks that we're probably not gonna ever see him again, because they gave him a redemption arc in the same episode. But yeah, he was a very interesting villain, and the actor that played him did an amazing job. This episode was also really good. Episode 6. The doctor takes Belinda to this singing competition. Apparently it's a thing where Belinda lives too, so it's still ongoing all these years later. And it goes wrong. The doctor gets a fucking awesome speech in this episode too, where he shows the real anger that you want to see from the doctor. We haven't seen something like this since the frustration of him in Dot and Bubble, where he wanted to save the girl, but she was a racist piece of shit. And she wasn't going to go with him. So she got killed. And yeah, he has an outstanding performance in this episode. And this episode's really good. We have a little gay couple, and they're pretty fun. They flirt with the doctor a little bit. The doctor ends up fucking torturing the dude, basically. I don't know if I've ever seen the doctor actually go that far. Like, the doctor has done bad stuff before. Like, we can go back to the 10th Doctor with David Tennant in, hell, it might have been one of his first episodes when he killed, like, that, like, spider creature lady's children by burning them alive. He can be, very aggressive, and I liked that we saw that. But man, torturing someone, I didn't think I'd ever see the doctor do that. Like, it's one thing to kill somebody, it's another thing to torture them. And he's like shocking the shit out of this guy and taunting him while doing it. And wow, it's really good. Belinda snaps him out of it, and he apologizes. The guy says he'll see the doctor again. Now we're down to the two-parter. The doctor is in this reality where him and Belinda have a baby, and you're not allowed to doubt. It's like against the law. And we find out that Ruby's sexist boyfriend Conrad is like a big part of the control of this world, and the Ronnie's here. I knew of the Ronnie, but I've never seen the Ronnie because I believe they were only in like the very late seasons of the original Doctor Who. Like, I think the Ronnie was introduced in like the 7th Doctor, maybe the 6th Doctor. And then they just never brought him back for the revival with the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th Doctors. Can't really count the 14th Doctor because he did a few specials and then fucked off. But yeah, the Rani, I really liked her. She had a bit of an anticlimactic death. She doesn't officially die though, since she bi-regenerated, so there's 2 of them. And she gets killed by one of the original Time Lords called the Omega. And then the other Rani just teleports away. And the Doctor just puts the Omega back in its cage. It's just kind of lame. The two-parter itself at times was really cool, but bringing back one of the original Time Lords, getting that reveal of it, looking like that, like it looked fucking cool as hell. Just for it to eat one of the Ronnie and then immediately be defeated. Like, it didn't put up that much of a fight. It mostly just yapped. Which, it's just, yeah. I did really enjoy the Ronnie. Her performance, like I said, was really good. But the older one, they didn't really do that much with. And the older one is Mrs. Flood. You know, it's like this thing with her falling around the Doctor, and it turns out she's another version of the Ronnie. Like, it's okay, I guess. It turns out Poppy isn't actually the Doctor's child. It's Belinda's child with a different dude named like Richie or something. Okay. That's a weird thing. The Doctor gets a speech, and it's fine, but it feels very half-assed. Jodie Whittaker fucking shows up. Actually, let's go back. Episode 5 with the barber. The fugitive Doctor shows up. I know of her, but I haven't gotten to her yet. As I am recording this, I have finished season 1 of the 13th Doctor, but I'm not going to review it until I watch the Christmas special, since it's already came out, and I usually include the Christmas specials with the older episodes if they, have already come out, and then if it's a new Christmas special, I review it on its own. So, yeah, I need to watch the Christmas special, then I'll review it. But I have not seen The Fugitive Doctor yet, so I knew of her. I knew what she looked like. It was cool to see her there, but at the same time, I don't really know her. Oh, speaking of The Fugitive Doctor, he mentions to Belinda in that episode. Maybe she forgot. It's whatever. Doctor Who, forgets stuff sometimes. He mentions in that episode that this is like his first time being in this black body, which is kind of a hint that they're going to bring the Fugitive Doctor in the episode. But he basically tells her that, he regenerates, like he turns into a different person. But in the finale, like he tells her that she's probably not going to see this face again. And then she's like surprised and says, "What do you mean by that? Like, did you just forget he can regenerate?" Maybe she doesn't think he's regenerating right now. And yeah, by the way he phrases it, it is a little confusing, but at the same time, she does know that he can regenerate. So I think, she's a smart character. She should have been able to put two and two together. So then we see Jodie, and even though I've only watched one season of her, and it's been hit or miss with the episodes, I was really excited to see her. I out loud yelled, "Jodie!" I was really excited to see her. She doesn't do that much. Her and Lucy hug. She says that she loves Yaz, and even though that she doesn't say it, that Yaz knows. I did know, even though I haven't seen it that much so far in season 1, that there was a lesbian dynamic between the two. I think that's just giving, characters, fans, I mean, that wanted them to get together, a little fan service. That, saying that the 13th Doctor was in love with her, but they didn't date. Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, really cool to see Jodie. Really cool. I don't get why people hate on her so much. And then he regenerates. And he fucking turns into Billie Piper. Oh god. Nothing against Billie Piper as a person, but man, I'm definitely one of her biggest haters. I did not like Rose with the 2 seasons we got of her. She wasn't very nice. Was not very nice. She did some homophobic things at times, and it was just kind of a bitchy character, but not likable. Like, characters can be bitchy and still be likable. Like Donna. She was a bit of a bitch at times, but I fucking loved her. But Rose, I was never a fan. I think she's a bit of an asshole. And, the Doctor can be a bit of an asshole at times, so maybe that's a bit contradictory, but with companions, I want them to be more likable since we're not going to see them very long. And with the Doctor, he can give amazing performance in the next episode and you can just forget about what he did. But with the companions, they're usually just kind of there. They might give amazing performances, but for some reason, the stuff they do stick with you more, at least to me. And Rose just wasn't the nicest person. I am happy for the fans of Rose, though, because I know a lot of people are going to be happy that she's back. So, yeah, Billie Piper's back. I'm glad she's getting paid. I can say that. I've never heard anything bad about her. She seems like a good person. But, I hope she's nicer as the Doctor. At least, I'm assuming she's the Doctor. Because he gives the whole regeneration speech. He regenerates. And when we see her, even though we don't get a full close-up, it's pretty clear that she's in the Doctor's clothes. I don't think this is a teleport situation. I think Billie Piper is the Doctor. There's probably going to be fans arguing until the new season comes out if she's the Doctor or not. But I think she's the Doctor. Who knows? I might get proven wrong whenever the next season comes out. Oh, and obviously, since like I said, there's only the Christmas special left, the review for the 13th Doctor's first season will be coming out pretty soon.